So this is the tutorial today for Mystique from X-Men. You could add yellow contacts in. Toni is a child. She has an eye condition, so we haven't done that, but yellow contacts would look really great. This wig did have a fringe which we've tucked underneath, but you could get a wig without a fringe. But this is just one that we had lying around, as you do. And this is Snazaroo, and also used some Krylon, but all the products used will be in the information bar below. And what we've done is, all the shapes are on here, which I sketched beforehand so I knew what I was doing. And then if I just show you on the forehead. What I've done is I've added a little bit of light blue shadow to the top of some, so it's like they're catching the light. You want to be careful where you do it, like it's on the right side here, but then it's on the left side here because that's the way the light would fall.
Did you colour in the brows as well?
No.
It looks really good, it looks like part of the pattern.
Yeah, your brows are kind of like lightly shown through, but it does look like part of the pattern. It's quite a structured pattern in the centre, in that that's exactly how Mystique has the pattern. But as it goes outwards, it just becomes sort of more randomised shapes that come down.
Sorry.
Terrible model.
Terrible model.
Comes down the side of the face, and we've also done some marks on the shoulder as well, but I will put photos at the end so you can have a closer look. So thanks very much for watching. This is something a little bit different for 13 Days of Horror, but it's really kind of cool.
Well, you know, it is like a mask, like a costume.
It's a costume, so you could just get a blue bodysuit or wear blue bottoms and trousers.
Jennifer did that for the second movie.
Yeah, but it's really quite effective. So that's it for my Mystique tutorial, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye. So we are starting this tutorial by painting Toni blue. She does have a towel on, and it is one of those towels with the straps on, which she's just took off her shoulders so that I could paint her shoulders for the look. Because if I was going to do this look, I would paint the arms and shoulders, and then I would find something blue to wear to go with it, because I wouldn't paint like the whole body. But yeah, I wanted to do the shoulders as well. As you can see, she is very ticklish, so this was quite a challenge, and there's a lot of bobbing about in this bit of footage. There is an additional video up today, which is actually all of the this is kind of slowed down of this, and it's all just the daft little outtakes, the funny things that happened and the things that she was saying. I just thought it was quite funny, and maybe it's just me because she's my daughter, but I thought it was really quite good. And it's quite a long video, so I apologise for that, but it is up on the channel if you do want to check it out and have a bit of a laugh. But yeah, this is Snazaroo body paint, and it's obviously child friendly, but I did do a patch test on Toni, on her face and also on her neck and her shoulders, just because obviously the skin is different on different areas of the body, different sort of hardiness, you know, exposure to weather and things like that. So I did try it on more sensitive areas and the areas that I was going to be painting. So all of the information about the different colours of these paints is actually in the information bar below, so you can check out what I've used. But I just used 2 different shades of the Snazaroo paint, and this is the base colour. I thought it was pretty close to what Mystique actually looks like in colour, so I was actually really pleased with it. And the great thing about Snazaroo paint, it is like sort of skin safe, obviously because it's for children, but it's also just water soluble, so it washes off very easily as well. So it's actually a really nice paint to work with. Now, as you can see, I didn't go right up to the hair because the wig is going on and I didn't really need to. If you were going out, I probably would. And obviously you would want to paint around the back of your neck and all that, but this is just kind of for the video purposes and for photographic purposes for this video. So what we had to do was, there was a certain amount of creasing on the eyelids with the Snazaroo, so I did try to get her to fan herself here to dry it. That wasn't working overly well, so I did use a sugar pill shadow here on the lids and underneath the eyes, just to set the Snazaroo face paint, and it just prevented the crease, and it was really, really great. So from here, hopefully you'll still be able to see some of what's going on, and there are photos at the end for you to see more details. But we did move on to the lips here, and I did use a mix of MAC lip mixes here. I did use the blue, and I also used a little bit of high def cyan and black. I actually go in and use something different on the lips at a later stage, but this was actually quite a nice mix. It's just I kind of realised I had something I thought would look a lot better, and I actually prefer the thing I use later on. So I didn't do anything with the brows at all. I didn't hide them, we just went over them, and it actually works out really cool because they look like they're part of the actual design on the face because they've gone a darker shade of blue. And then I am painting on with, well, I was using a darker Snazaroo paint here, but then I went on to use one of the Krylon burn wheels, which I will again list below, and there are photographs at the end of what I used. I will put full photographs of all the equipment, all of the makeup used on my blog as well, just in case you do want to try and recreate it. And so yes, I used the Krylon dark blue to paint on the designs, and I loved how it looked. They look really nice. It's a nice darkness, but it's not too dark because although Mystique has those patterns on her face, it kind of takes like moving in the light for you to see all the detail of the patterns. So we didn't want to make it a stark difference. It has to kind of almost blend in with what her skin colour is, which is that lovely blue, but not, if that makes sense. So I did these on her face, and I actually plotted out what I wanted to do shape-wise for the centre of her forehead. And, well, Toni did a drawing, and we took it from there. She actually did a drawing directly from Mystique's face, so we did get like pretty much identical pattern in the centre. And then using a small Snazaroo face brush, I painted the small designs on the face, keeping it as symmetrical as possible. Not quite so easy as you got further outwards and the shapes became a little more elongated and random, but as you can see in the centre it does kind of go out symmetrically, and I did try to keep it as close to symmetry as possible. And I really love how it looks. I just thought it just looked so good, and I went back in here and tightened up some of the shapes, and then added a light blue shadow that had a little bit of frost to it to some of the shapes. Now this was for the purpose of like direction of light, so you want to keep it sort of true, so if it's hitting one side of the shapes then it'll hit a different side on the other side of the face, and so on. So that kind of just give a little bit of light to some of the shapes and just made them stand out a little bit more and made you look a little bit more towards the face and towards the interesting shapes that were on there. I really loved how this shadow looked. Then from the Lorac Pro 2 palette I took Navy, and I put this around the eyes, and I just put it close to the lash line top and bottom, and I just like that dramatic darkness that it gave around her eyes. Without actually painting anything on her lids too much. It just really made the eyes stand out a lot more, and I think it just looked really great. Then I went on to paint the shapes on the shoulders. Some of these are a lot larger than the ones on the face, and I just really loved how this looked. I thought it just looked really cool how it kind of came down the face and then went out across the shoulders, and yeah, I was really pleased with how it actually turned out. Overall, I mean, that shoulder I'm doing now, that's my favourite one. The photographs are actually of that shoulder because I think the shapes turned out pretty amazing there.
Actually, me, I bet I can deal with it. Okay. Unless it gets really good. I have to rip my eyes a bit. Oh, that looks better.
That looks better. Well, she hasn't got long hair.
No. I kind of look like old Mystique. You know, in the other movies.
Yeah.
Like before Jennifer Lawrence and James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. Where do you go, Fassbender?
Fazzy?
Fazzy.
Yeah.
Fazzy
the bear.
Fazzy the bear. Fazzy the bear. Oh my god.
Benny. Benedict.
Benny. Oh my god.
And Hiddler.
Hidley. Hidley tiddly.
Right, now look up.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Looks really good.
You could just go on set. Nobody's going to notice. Hi, Jen. Right. Okay, look at the camera. Let me just...
Okay. Oh my god.
Show the detail or not.
Oh my god.
Twig that shoulder.
Don't show that bit. That's fancy. Oh god. My eyes have watered so much.